Okay, practice 6.3, we have 1 through 25 odd. The first part is going to be determine whether each binomial for number 1 can factor x cubed plus 3x squared minus 10x minus 24. Well, for number 1, it's seeing if x plus 4 is a factor. Remember, to be a factor, it has to have no remainder. So to get x to look like x to the 4, so we'll rewrite it right here, x plus 4. Okay. We have to multiply it by x squared. So x squared times x is x cubed. X squared times 4 is plus 4x squared. Now we have to subtract them, so we change the signs. 3x squared minus 4x squared is negative x squared, negative 1x squared. Drop the next part down, be negative 10x. Alright, to get x plus 4 to look like negative x squared, we have to multiply it by negative x. Once we do that, we get negative x squared minus 4x. Again, we got to change the signs to subtract them. So negative x squared plus x squared 0. Negative 10x plus 4x is negative 6x. Drop down the next part, minus 24. So to get x to be a negative 6x, we have to multiply it by negative 6. So when we do that, negative 6 times x is negative 6x, and negative 6 times 4 is negative 24. Change the signs, and we get a 0. So for number 1, yes, it's a factor. Okay. Number 3 is x plus 6. Same problem, where it's x cubed plus 3x squared minus 10x minus 24. So let's divide. To get x plus 6, we have to multiply it by x squared. So that'd be x cubed plus 6x squared. We got to change the signs. So that'd be negative 3x squared. Drop the next term down, minus 10x. To get that to look like a negative 3x squared, we have to multiply that by negative 3x. So that becomes negative 3x squared minus 18x. Change the signs because we're going to subtract them. 10x, negative 10x plus 18x is 8x. Drop the next term down, negative 24. To get our divisor to have an 8x value, we'd have to add 8. So 8 times x is 8x, and 8 times 6 is 48. So we subtract them. Unfortunately, we have a remainder of a positive 24. So the answer for number 3 would be no, it is not a factor, because to be a factor, you would have to have 0 remainders. Okay, now the question says divide by synthetic division. So we got x minus 5 divided x cubed minus 8x squared plus 17x minus 10. So if you remember, for synthetic, we're going to change our sign. So that's going to become, instead of negative 5, it's going to be a positive 5. And we just drop down our coefficients for each term. Alright, so we drop down the first term. 5 times 1 is 5. We add those, it'd be negative 3. Negative 3 times 5 is negative 15. Negative 15 minus plus 17, it'd be a negative 2. That would be a positive 2. So 5 times 2 is 10. So it has a remainder of 0. So it works out. The answer would be x squared minus 3x plus 2. Again, once you get the hang of this is probably a little bit easier than long division. So let's just get some more reps at it. x minus 3 divided by, or is going to divide negative 2x cubed plus 15x squared minus 22x minus 15. Okay, so to do synthetic, we change the sign and we just drop the coefficients. Negative 2, a positive 15, a negative 22, and a negative 15. We drop the first coefficient down. Okay. So 3 times negative 2 is negative 6. Sum those two, that'd be 9. 9 times 3 is 27. 27 minus 22 is positive 5. 3 times 5 is 15. So we have our new answer. It'd be negative 2x squared plus 9x plus 5. Number 9. X plus 3 is the divisor of x cubed plus 2x squared plus 5x plus 12. Synthetic division, again, we change the 3 to a negative, and we just drop down the coefficients, so that'd be 1, 2, 5, and 12, all positive numbers. Good for us. Drop the first one down. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. 2 plus negative 3 is negative 1. Negative 3 times negative 1 is a positive 3. 5 plus 3 is 8. And 8 times negative 3 is negative 24. So we're going to have, unfortunately here, a remainder of 12. So it would be x squared minus x plus 8 with the remainder of negative 12. Okay, number 11. We're going to do x minus 1 is the divisor of x to the 4th minus x cubed plus x squared minus x plus 1. Okay, so let's drop our coefficient. Change that to positive, so that'd be positive 1. We're going to drop our coefficients 1, negative 1, 1, negative 1, 1. So we drop the first one down. 1 times 1 is 1. Negative 1 times plus 1 is 0. 0 times 1 is 0. You sum those, it'd be 1. 1 times 1 is 1. That'd be 0. 0 times 1 is 0. So you're going to have a remainder of 1. So it would be x cubed plus, just so we don't mess this up, 0x squared plus x plus 0 with the remainder of 1. So we could rewrite it as x cubed plus x with the remainder of 1. Okay, number 13. X minus 4 is the divisor. We got x to the 4th minus 5x to the 3rd plus 5x squared plus 7x minus 12. So let's drop our divisor. Change the sign to be a positive 4. This would be a 1, a negative 5, a positive 5, a positive 7, a negative 12. Drop the first one down. 4 times 1 is 4. Negative 5 times plus 4 is negative 1. Negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. That becomes a 1. 1 times 4 is 4. 7 plus 4 is 11. 11 times 4 is 44. That would have a 32. So we could rewrite this as x cubed minus x squared plus x plus 11 with the remainder, unfortunately, of 32. Okay. Next one. We're trying to find the piece of A, and it looks like this. 3x cubed minus 4x squared minus 5x plus 1. It tells us a equals to 2, so we'll drop that in the corner. Drop our coefficients, 3, negative 4, negative 5, and 1. So we drop the first coefficient down. 2 times 3 is 6, negative 4 plus 6 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, negative 5 plus 4 is negative 1, 2 times negative 1 is negative 2, so our remainder is number negative 1. So the piece of 2 is negative 1. Okay, number 17. That was 15, by the way. Number 17. Alright, we have an a value of negative 3. Okay, we have a piece of x that looks like this. X cubed plus 6x squared plus 10x plus 3. So let's rewrite this. So it would be negative 3. We already dropped down. Drop our coefficients. 1, 6, 10, and 3. We drop our first coefficient down. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. 6 plus negative 3 is 3. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9. 10 minus negative 9 is 1. Or so I should say 10 plus negative 1. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. 3 plus negative 3 is a 0. So the piece of A, or the piece of 3, negative 3, is 0. Go on number 19. Okay, divide these. So our divisor is x plus 3. And what we're dividing is x squared minus 13x minus 48. Okay, we've got to get that to look just like x squared, so we're going to multiply it by x. It's going to give us x squared plus 3x. Change our signs. So that's going to be negative 16x. We're going to drop down to negative 48. Okay, so to get that to be a negative 16x, I'm going to have to multiply by negative 16. So x times negative 16 is negative 16x. And 3 times negative 16 happens to be negative 48. Change our signs to subtract, and we get 0. So our answer is x minus 16. Number 21. Okay, our divisor is x minus 1. And we're dividing x cubed plus 5x squared minus 3x minus 1. Alright, to get that x to be x cubed, we have to multiply it by x squared. So that'd be x cubed minus x squared. We got to change our signs. So that goes 0. 5x squared plus x squared ends up being 6x squared. Drop the next coefficient down, minus 3x. To get that to look like, to get x to look like x squared or 6x squared, you're going to have to multiply that by a positive 6x. So when I do that, I get 6x squared minus 6x. Got to change the signs to subtract. I'm going to have 6x squared minus 6x squared is 0. Negative 3x plus 6x would be a positive 3x. Alright, and I'm going to have to drop a minus 1 down. Okay. Now to get the x to look just like the 3, I'm going to have to multiply it by a positive 3. So I'm going to get a 3x minus 3. We got to change the signs. 3x minus 3x is 0. Negative 1 plus 3 is 2. So I'm going to have a remainder 2. So my answer would be x squared plus 6x plus 3, remainder of 2.